Afrique, et malheureusement Afrique sans fric. Oh, naso idée, naso idée, Yendenika. Mais oui, c'est comme ça. Eh oui.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Now You Know podcast, powered by Stock in the Middle. Before we proceed, you can follow us on Twitter at Now You Know One and on Instagram at NYK Podcasts. This is Blessing. With me today, I have my main man Bell and my other main man Aristide. What's up, guys?
I love how you said podcast, and then you came and redeem yourself. I said podcast. Well done, sir.
You know that accent goes. That accent they go, they come. So
I'm telling you, this American accent thing. Let me just
Just pick one, pa. But it's okay. It's good. It's okay to be, to diversify. It's good. It's good.
You are right.
it's great.
Accent. Anyways, how you guys doing?
I've been home all week. It snowed here, but unfortunately, I have to go to the office tomorrow.
Well, I've been home since last March, so unfortunately, it is what it is, man.
It is what it is. Well, I'm glad we all still have a job, because I couldn't imagine what it would be like if we lost our job due to the whole virus thing. But we thank the head of state, Sha.
I just want to say thank God.
No jobs, no podcasts.
Yeah, we thank God, man.
Good. Anyways, we have an interesting topic to talk about tonight. That's mothers, not just mothers, but Cameroonian mothers. First of all, what will we do without our mothers, man? I mean, we would not even be here if our mothers were not, if our mothers were not there. So we are very grateful. But what's the favorite thing you like to hear your mom say? For me, I'll start. Ngwa, I've cooked your favorite meal. Gari and okra. And the funny thing is, when I hear that, right, it's usually when mom has probably done something that I did not agree with, or that made me mad, that made me angry. And then she realized, finally, because it's hard for African parents to realize that they're on the wrong. And when they realize that, like, Bangwa, I've cooked your favorite meal.
Yeah, you can't stay mad with that type of that type of question. Have you eaten? That's my favorite one. Have you eaten? If somebody asks you, have you eaten? Your mom asks you, have you eaten? Any African woman asks you, have you eaten? Just know that the follow up is gonna be good. So that's my favorite thing to hear from an African woman or my mother.
Have you eaten? Bill, what about you?
You probably talking about you wouldn't be here if not your mother. Did she born you alone? Did she born you alone?
Tell her you can take that one up to to management.
Take it to upper management, please.
Take it to upper management.
Say I wouldn't be here if Did she born you alone?
I wouldn't be in America without her. So shout out to her.
Okay, but the question I'm asking is, right, will you even be alive to be coming to America? Did she do it alone? Answer the question now.
I said, the interrogation, I would see, you be FBI.
Did you ask Mary, the mother of Jesus?
Mossad.
My disrespect right there.
Did Mary give birth alone?
Yeah.
Ask the angel now.
Ask the angel there. Anyway, but like you guys have both said, food is I think when it comes to Cameroonian women, Cameroonian mothers, when they cook, you eat. So, I mean, now that I'm living, on my own, it's always nice to have that text or call that I don't cook at you. Come and collect. Or there's food at home, or we're doing this today. Just that mothers always like to bring unity in the family. So when there's something going on at home, they'll always let you know that, okay, this is what's happening, come by and, let's let's enjoy. So that's very key.
Mothers are always the peacemakers, right? When things are going wrong, they're like they're the ones who try to like make everybody see eye to eye in a way. But you mentioned food, Belna. For you, Langaman, I know it's everybody. If anybody texts you that food is ready, you are just running. Doesn't necessarily.
Of course, man. Of course. I love to, you guys know me now. I'm a foodie, man. I eat everything. I love to eat.
Well, who no be foodie?
Ask
And
some.
talking about food, right? I remember back then when my mom would cook achu, because I've always had like toothache since I was a kid. My mom would cook achu with nkanda or cow skin or whatever you want to call it, and she'll be like, "Boy, since that nkanda is over strong, come and give me, let me eat, and I'll give you a fish." And my mom, the fish is not the fish that she will give me right then. It's fish that she's promising me for later. And every time my mom will cook achu, give me the nkanda, I'll give you fish. So if I want to count the amount of fish that my mom owes me,
The fishes in the sea will surely be.
they'll surely complain.
Fishes in the sea, the boys is in the bushes.
The guy with MC have the Atlantic Ocean.
I'm telling you. But you know, like, and that's just one thing that we can never like say, Mom, remember, you owed me fish this amount of times, because what African mothers ask you, all the food you have been eating in my house, did you pay for it? The time you have been staying in my house, have you been paying rent? So it's one of those things where it's just like, I know that she owes me, but like, in fact, it's a bad debt. For some of us who know what bad debts are, it's a bad debt. Yeah, so I mean, like, what are some, like, good memories you have with your mom, or memories that when you remember, you're like, man, I could have gotten my ass whooped, or what are some good times or like fun stories you have?
So as you guys know, I'm a Mulang boy, born and raised. But I did not grow up with my mom. My mom gave birth to me when she was still she was young.
Mm-hmm.
She was actually in SWA in Yaoundé, attending university.
Right.
So I was in Bamenda with my grandmother, and I was a very playful child. Obviously, if Cameroon or most of Africa, you have two seasons: dry season and rain season. So dry season time is, there's no rain. Everybody's always outside playing. Sunrise to sunset. You're a child. You want to be outside. You don't want to be indoors. Indoors is for what? Why should I be indoors? So there was this school I went to in class 1, GS Mulang. There was this football field there. There were 2 fields. There was a big field that was like all the Ogas in the quarter that would go and play there. And then there was a smaller field next to the big one that it was for us, the Pekins, the kids. So from where my grandparents' house is to the field was about 7 minutes walk.
Mm-hmm.
And I would be on that field from like early morning to almost sunset. And I remember I would hear my grandmother screaming my name. Like all the way, I would just hear it echoing through the trees.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, and then if I don't come home, she'll come and drag my ear all the way back to the house. So those were good times, because even though I'll go home super dirty from playing, she understood that this is a child, and kids don't want to be indoors, they want to be outdoors enjoying themselves. So those are just some of the memories I have.
Okay. What about you?
Like Bill, the bigger part of my growing up life or my childhood, I didn't have it with my mom. It was with my aunt. So, but had childhood with both of them, so it's tricky. I would say, and I call both of them my moms, but I would say probably my interesting memory with my mom here in America is probably just just going to the mall together and eye shopping stuff like that. taking the bus together, public transportation, just having that ride, and then yeah, that was like a good. It was a good, a quality time for me. And then for my aunts back home, it was, she took care of me as I was growing up. So she
Mhm.
used to she used to like be like teach me after school. So that was a good part. It was because I be strong head.
We can tell.
My auntie used to be, she used to beat me, man. But it was all good. It was all love because I learned a lot. So she was a good role model for me. She taught me a lot of things, how to read, how to write, all that type of stuff. So I think that's one of my favorite memories growing up.
So you're saying that you learned a lot, and you were a
I
strong
was
hit boy. I know she's strong hit today.
today. I'm
Nonsense. Don't even lie
Don't
on
lie,
this
please.
podcast.
strong hit
But
pass you.
Don't lie on this podcast. Which pass who?
Imagine a strong hit pass.
You strong hit
d'accord.
by. Hey, giving cheek kids, man. All this giving cheek.
But right on though, shout out to Auntie Jacko. I mean, I haven't personally met Auntie Jacko, but I've heard a lot about her. I've heard her
Shout out to you.
talk in the background when we've been on a call. So shout out to her for standing tall for you.
Funny enough, I was just talking to her on the
Hmm.
background. I was like, "Hey, I'm in a meeting. I'm in a meeting."
Fair enough. And funny enough too, like for me, I mean, when I think back about like when I think my mom left when we were younger to go to the teachers training school in Cambet. So I didn't also really spend that much time with my mom. And when she came back from that, school, not so long after that, she went to America. So most of the memories I've created with my mom have been like from when I came to America, which was from like 14 years and up. Um, but I still remember like some of the moments, the few moments, when I was younger, when we'd be playing, playing soccer or football or ndamba, like we used to call it back then, like bell. And my mom would just come, Ngwa! And she would just be shouting because my mom calls me Ngwa. She would just be shouting, Ngwa! And then when I run and come, she'd be like, "Have you washed those plates I told you to wash?" And that's when I remember that they were even placed for me. That's when I remember that they were placed for me to wash. And guess what? As soon as I said no, pap by the ear, just dragged me home, beats me. Doesn't care if it's dark. I'll be sitting out there, washing those plates until I'm done. But and it's funny we think about it. Back then we are like, why are they punishing us? But when we sit and look back at it these days, it's like, man, I thank God for that. Like that sort of treatment because like it kind of like molded us into better people. I hope. I mean, I can say that for me, anyways. I don't know about.
Ah! Liar.
I'm speaking for myself, so I can say that about myself.
You
So
know, that's crazy, man. Because whenever you get your mom or your father tells you to do something, immediately when they tell you you want to do it, it's like in the front of your head, but somehow it's just go and play football. Boom.
yep.
5 hours later, hey, mommy,
This is so true. This is so
it's
true.
crazy because we always have good intentions, man. We want to finish it, but somehow kids will be kids, man.
Kids will be kids.
They say good intentions, bad
Exactly,
execution.
exactly. But
But it's true
yeah,
though. It's true.
as I'm hearing all of us talk, it seems like within most of us or all of us here today, we didn't spend the big childhood with our moms.
Mhm.
How does that make you guys feel? How do you guys how was that experience for all of you guys?
Woo. That is a question within a question within another question, but I'll try to answer the middle one, if that makes sense. But the thing is, right? You're not living with your mom, but she's still there. That's the key. That's the key in this situation. It's not like you're on your own in a sense. She's still around. She might not be there physically, but as far as the moral support, the calls, checking up on you, those things still exist, and those are the actions of a mother. So those things are there, and you're not on your own. So for me, um, I was almost 13 when I started living with my mom. So it was just where do we begin? You know, stuff like that. You start to get to know the person that was behind the phone calls, behind the letters, you know, behind the funds that were wired, all those things. You start to learn to get along, um, stuff like that. So it's like a new life basically. You're starting over with somebody you know, but it's like this person is still new, which is fun because it's I mean you kind of miss that early bond that kids have with their parents. You kind of miss that, but at the same time, you're older, you're more mature. You can think things through, like Blessing said. Once you get older, you realize that all the things that were happening to you as a child would shape the kind of the man or woman that you do become in the future.
Yeah, I mean it's the same way for me. It's like I like what you said. It's like a new life, a new beginning, kind of.
Yeah.
Because yeah, and you said they were not living with us, but they were still there because my mom would always call to check on us, and she would write letters and send postcards, and she would still make things happen from a distance. And
Don't
even when
forget
she
the
came,
money that she was sending you. She also sent money. Don't forget to say money that she sent.
yeah, I was getting to that. Even when she came to America, she would still send Christmas clothes and stuff like that, and shoes, and obviously money throughout that to take care of us and stuff like that. Um, but getting to know, it also it felt really nice because like starting that new life or new bond with her at like an age where you can actually like reason and see things and understand things for what they are, actually felt really good because now like I'm really close to my mom. Like I'm super close to my mom. Like I feel like we've made up for that time that we missed, back in the day, and it's made us like super close. And now she's all up in my business, asking me.
Man. Hey, that's mothers, man. Mothers love. It's
That's
crazy because it's like we all live the same life. Bell, you're saying that you didn't start living with your mom till you were 13, and then Blesso, you're saying that around 14. Me, it was the same age, 13, 14,
Mhm.
and like you guys said, it was like a whole new journey, a whole new experience. I mean, I had always spoken to my mom on the phone. She was always sending us same stories, send money back home, aid, stuff like that. I always knew that okay, mama is on the phone. So even sometimes
Right.
when my aunts would beat me in camera, I'll be like, I'll call mama, I'll call mama. I always knew it, but then when I actually came here and I was like, wow, this is my mom, it was like, okay, I have to learn how to know this person, I have to learn how to know this person, who is this person? I know it's my mom, but that connection had to be, it had to be built up from,
Right.
for many years. And I'm happy that I got to witness that. But as we guys we've all talked about, even though our parents weren't there, or our mothers weren't there, they were still the pillars of like our families.
Right.
That's just like a testimony to show you African women, African mothers. And then most like Blesso, your mom was here, my mom was here, Belle, your mom was here. Man, none of us would be here without all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like they're going somewhere else, look for better opportunities for us. So it's really amazing that all three of us sitting here on this podcast right now, we have the same story. Pretty much,
Mm.
it's crazy and it's beautiful and it's amazing. Shout out to our moms, man.
Shout out to our mom. Shout out to our moms. It's funny you talked about those calls we get. And remember back in the day when we get calls from America, it was always like early in the morning, or
Yeah.
like at like,
Or late night.
or like midnight.
Mhm.
Isn't it
Yeah.
crazy? But now you can just get up and call Cameroon at any time
What's up?
Massa. WhatsApp.
Man,
on
we
WhatsApp. Yeah.
we used to have a phone booth in front of our house, and then my mom
Ah.
my mom had the phone. So whenever that's so will run. Mama, they go, mama, they go. Good times, good times. Good
Funny enough,
memories.
right? For us, it was our neighbor. Our neighbor had a phone. They had a house
Wow.
phone that my mom would call, and it was not just like our next door neighbor. It was like a neighbor like in a different compound. So
Yeah.
when mama calls, right, they'll run and come and tell us. That's how we'll be running. Mama, come on, we'll be
Cha.
running. And then sometimes everybody cannot go because we
Yeah.
cannot just go sit in the person's house. So it's like, okay, my dad would pick my brother and my sister, or me and my sister, or me and my brother will go talk and then come back and tell tell the others, and tell the others
What happened?
what said,
Yeah, man. Your neighbor, you guys had good neighbors, man.
That's what I wanted to just ask. Your neighbor had a house phone.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
Our neighbors were always fighting
the
with us,
90s.
man.
In the 90s, the neighbor get house phone.
No, our neighbors were like, they were wealthy. They were wealthy.
Wow.
Wait, hold on. Your neighbors had a house phone in the 90s in Bamenda.
No, but it
How
was
was
not
that
the
connected?
90s now. It was like the
Early 2000s.
early 2000s.
Late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
Try. Those were the
early
mommy and daddy households.
Right,
telling you,
right. Exactly.
Drink tea and eat eggs for breakfast household.
that kind of
spaghetti.
thing.
And spaghetti.
Also,
Those
come for
areas-
cook spaghetti for 3 stone for your side.
I tell you, pa. When I chop my contract for morning time.
Sleeping quite with this.
Contract. To be honest, pretty much, I feel like pretty much every Cameroonian food tastes better the next day.
That's true.
Every?
Most.
Yeah.
Most.
Let's say most.
The essential ones, the ones that
I honestly
Lord.
cannot think of one that doesn't, but I'm just gonna say most to be safe.
Okra
true.
doesn't.
No. Actually, okra is pretty good. Okra is good, man.
It's
Not the
good.
next day.
But now you don't like okra either way.
Yeah, that's
so
why you don't like okra.
Be speaking about okra, okay?
Okra hit, bro. Even 2 days after. What do you mean, bro?
I know. Okra heat. Anyways, guys, I think this is a good time for our segment, which is called the African Proverb.
Sasa Rockabilly just presenting you Sweet Mother. Sweet Mother, I no go forget you for the suffer way you suffer for me. Sweet Mother, I no go forget you for the suffer way you suffer for me.
This one is a Swahili proverb. It goes, "It is not hard to nurse a pregnancy, but it's hard to bring up a child." It is not hard to nurse a pregnancy, but it is hard to bring up a child.
Normally I will handle these proverbs, but today I like to hear what that has to say about it.
Aristide, take it away, man.
I'm gonna take it away. How do you nurse a pregnancy? But the way I understand it, okay. Let me use another analogy to make you guys even more confused.
Go for it.
When you want to, like, okay, you have a plant, you have a seed, right? Let's say a seed of a plant, hibiscus flower.
Wow.
You want to go and you plant it. It's easy for you to just come every day and just water it, water it. But then when that hibiscus
We got you, pal. We know what you're talking about.
when that flower
Hibiscus.
has now grown, the work now starts. Okay, how do you keep up with it? It's like, buy a car. You have the money to buy the car. Boom, you have it. But how long is the car gonna last? You have to take care of it. That's the hard part.
Bernard, please add something to that.
You guys asked me to explain that. I gave you guys 2 more.
Think of it as think of it as you're in a boxing ring against somebody, right? And the person is just taking all the punches. It's easy. You can just keep punching and punching and punching. Now, if that person starts fighting back, what do you have to do? You have to adjust, right?
Right.
You have to adjust. So when you're pregnant, I mean, it's not an easy process because there's a lot of changes in your life, health, your sleeping pattern, eating patterns, but it's a much easier ride than actually raising the child. Because think about it, the difference is 9 months versus a whole lifetime, right?
Right.
So the workload definitely changes when the baby comes out.
Sense one key, the boy.
Don't leave me.
Don't leave me. Don't leave me. Wow. So, talking about mothers, since we start this quote unquote new life, like we talk about it, or like a new beginning, we get close to our parents, right? So, we get to that point where your mom is looking at you like, who is this boy dating? Or like they want to they want to know what's going. They want to know how mature their boy is, or how well their man is turning into a man. So, I mean, does your mom get into your your dating life, or does she ask? Does she want to know what's going on?
Um, they do want to know what's going on, but at the same time, they're more worried about your safety, right? Because, for example, let me talk about myself.
Yeah, speak for yourself, please.
um, your parents will only ask you questions when you start bringing girls home. That's if you're still living under your parents' roof. If you're not living with them, it's more of a laissez-faire approach. Are you taking care of yourself? Good. Okay, that's it. But when you start, for example, if there's a party in town, you come by yourself, no questions asked. If there's a party in town, you come with somebody. Ooh,
Who's that?
who's that? Questions start to be asked. And also, being African too, once you start getting to a certain age, that question always pops up. When are you getting married? That question is always going to be there, for all of us Africans. Man, woman, that question is going to be there forever. So, your parents would probably, allow you to do what you want to do, because guess what? You're a young adult trying to, figure out your life. You're bound to you're bound to make mistakes, right? And guess what? That's how you learn. The other day I was talking to my little brother and I was asking him, like, how many times have I put my hands on you? He said no. I said, you know why? It's because when you're doing things in the house that I don't necessarily agree with, I let you do it, but there's a limit. He's like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, once you cross that limit, then we'll talk. But I want you to be able to, grow up, live your life, make mistakes, and learn. Like, okay. So that's the same thing that parents tend to do. They want you to, go through that stage of figuring out things. And then, but guess what though? They're always going to be there if you do need them. Like, if you want to ask questions, if you need advice, they will always be there. But um, because it's not every day that you need something and you run to your mother and father to ask now.
Right.
Sometimes you gotta figure it out on your own. So
Right. And that, how's it been for you?
I wouldn't say. I think they're usually like curious to see if I'm if there's anybody who wants the young man, you know. But most of the times, I think I'm the one who bring up back conversations like, oh, this is the person that I'm talking to. Blah 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 blah. What do you think? So, but I haven't reached that age where they'll start asking me when I'm getting married. So thank God. But to answer your question, yeah, they inquire about such things, but don't like impose. Sometimes they do. It's annoying, but it's in good faith.
I mean, yeah, it is in good faith. I think it's in good faith anyway. I mean, the one that says that little boy turn into a man and one day have his own family.
grandkids.
Bell.
They always want grandkids.
Oh yeah.
So that you like this. You're talking about you taking a girl home and telling your mother and father that this is the one I'm dating. What about the one that you're not dating? Do you take them home?
Let me. I said, is this? Why are you asking me this question?
Yeah, I'm asking you because you said it now. That this is the girl that I take home. Do you take every girl home to your parents?
I sent to the bedroom. Or... JK, man. No. Obviously,
JK,
no. My parents haven't met that many girls that I've.
All right. So how do you determine which one meets mommy and daddy?
Bless her. Now you put the pen up my back.
I know they made it.
Man. I mean, I think ultimately, if you're like in a relationship, with somebody, or if you feel comfortable with your family known, is subjective. Is that how you said? Depends on the person.
Very
But for
subjective.
me, I don't know. I just feel like if I'm comfortable with you and I trust you, to meet my family, then sure. Or to meet my sister or my brother, sure.
But now,
Okay, pa.
how many do you take when you take one and doesn't work? Do you take the next one? Because many African moms, what about the other one? They'll just ask you,
Yeah, not true. Check.
And
How
they will
about
they will ask you in front of the gate that you bring home.
exactly.
They will actually write in the gate. Hey, the one I brought last week is not this one,
Right.
man.
Last week? Bell, what you
Bell,
talking about, bro? Bell?
Yeah. Yeah. What are you talking about last week?
Hey, I'm quoting Nigerian film, please.
Yeah, man, that's true. That's true, Blesso. You know, they always go back into iCards and say, "Half a B, no, I know you don't still want to see B."
Right.
If you don't see B, don't ask me. Just know, just just know.
But I mean, I think for the most part, right, moms, you know, they act stuff like that because probably that's how, you know, things were when, you know, when they were
Right.
growing up, their parents would ask them like, okay, because the way it seems, right, back in the day, it was kind of like you grow up and then you go to school. If you're not going to school, you find a job, and then eventually you just find someone to get married and start, you know, get married to and start a family. So sometimes when they ask us, like, it's like I'm seeing, I was not there, but it's like I'm seeing flashbacks from back then. But I mean, and then the good thing is that like most moms will always, you know, welcome whoever you bring home, because, you know, and that's good to see, because it's like they trust you, right? That if you've seen, you know, somebody you like, you know, they're going to support you either way, and then they can just give you advice, you know, from the start.
But question: have you ever brought somebody home and then your mom, like, you know, openly said to you, "I don't like this person"?
Who is that question for?
Bless you.
No, luckily for me, I mean, I haven't brought, you know, too many people back to the house.
Too many.
Yes, because they all end at the
What?
hotel.
The Airbnb.
Are you
See,
speaking to
see,
yourself?
see how the guy says the word like he's innocent.
I'm
What?
very innocent, please.
What?
What?
What? Blesso was like, yo, let me fly you out tonight.
I wish I had that type of money. Not saying that I would do that, but I don't have that type of money.
I said, Bless you. You said you're close to your mom. I mean, how close are you guys? Well, how close are we talking? Do you know what kind of conversations do you have with your mom? You know.
So I tell my mom literally anything, like whatever is bothering me, like I'll tell my mom.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm very comfortable with going to go tell my mom that, okay, this is what's going on. Even if, you know, I can't tell my brother, or I'll tell my mom, because I mean, it's like, honestly, my mom to me is like going to a counselor
Wow.
with your grades. You can't go to the counselor with your grades and be shy. Like the counselor already probably knows. Like I'm talking about like school counselors, not like, you know, high school counselors.
Right.
Like they already know your grades. Or it's like going to the doctor and hiding something. Like, no, I mean,
They're gonna find out.
they're gonna find out, and then, you know, they're gonna help you. They're there to help you. They're there to help you, give you advice and stuff like that. They're not there
Right.
to criticize you. You know.
Beautiful.
So
Beautiful.
I feel very comfortable with her. I tell her, you know, most things, not everything, actually.
Just enough.
Just enough.
Yeah.
Just enough.
You don't tell her bad, they not.
I don't have
Only
the. Are you speaking for
that's-
yourself, or you are speaking for me?
I
see,
be
Blesso.
seeing those snaps, man.
Please don't come
What are
and
you talking
influence me
about
for
here,
something
man?
that I don't even, you know, I have no idea. Anyways, Belle, since you're running out your mouth, no, I'm not clapping back. Or how do the youths of these days say it? But how influential was your mom, you know, with towards your relationship you have now, which as we know, you're currently engaged. How influential was your mom towards that?
Now you engage
Whatever.
me.
Engage in the conversation.
No, but as you guys know, when you do get engaged, Okay, let me take
As
it
we
back.
know.
Let me take it
How
back
we know?
from the from the
How
top.
will we know?
Exactly. You don't know. Okay, you're there doing midnight things.
Where, pa? You can so incriminate me for things I don't know.
Beto's mother is listening. Oh,
She's live. But when you're dating somebody, right, it's more of just the two of you guys, and then when you do decide to get engaged, that's when you're um bringing both families together. So it has to be like a thing that everybody give the green light, for it to happen. Obviously, when you're about to get engaged, you you tell your family. Obviously, you start with your mother, and you tell her that, okay, mom, these are my intentions. This is what I want to do. This is how I'm going to do it. And then you get her blessings. And then, okay, yeah, trust me, like we've been saying since we started talking today, moms are very critical. So once you have your mom's blessing, no pun intended, listen. Once you have your mom's blessing, everything tends to fall into place after that, because people always say your mother's intuition is critical, you know. So once you have her blessing, everything else falls into place. So um, my little brother actually picked out the engagement ring that I used when I was getting engaged. He picked it out. I showed it to my mom. She liked it. And then I now went to talk to my fiance's mom. I told her that, okay, this is the ring. This is what's gonna happen, where it's gonna happen, and how it's gonna happen. And she also gave me her blessing. So basically, when you know who your partner is close to, that's where you start, and usually it's the mom. But to answer your question, yeah, the mom she played a critical role in my relationship, and my mom actually knew my fiance before I got to know her. So, um, so yeah.
Fantastic. And and I've met your mom as well, and I can sit here and attest how great of a mama she is. And even from the pictures you always post, and just mom has called you and said that there's food in the big compound and stuff like that. It's just great to see. I mean, and like I said, Aristide, I've heard a lot about Auntie Jacko, and the good work that they do reflects on you guys, because I mean, that's why every day I cherish you guys as my friends, and I don't know what I would
Every day you do what?
I cherish you guys.
I didn't hear that. Can you say it again,
I
please?
cherish you guys.
But
Oh,
I am
okay.
very grateful to have you guys in my life. So, even if it's, when I just call and complain, or I text and complain, or I ask a very silly question, I mean, you guys are always there for me. So, and that, that reflects on how properly you were brought up. So, shout out to your moms.
Hey,
That just got real, man. I'm emotional right now.
wait,
And I usually don't get
you want
emotional.
you want tissues?
Yeah.
We have some newly made NYK tissues.
So, but from the way like our parents have brought us, and like we've seen, like our moms, we've seen really good qualities. What would you advise, like maybe young women who were thinking about being moms, or who were obviously planning to become moms, and like what's like? I mean, I know you guys are not moms, but like what's one thing that you love for every parent or every mom to kind of share, or do with their children?
I know you mentioned blessing. You mentioned your mom being a counselor. You know, for example, when from the day your mother gives birth to you, she automatically becomes your first line of defense. She's your protector. And, you know, I've seen videos on the internet where a lady, I mean, I would say mom, but those are the actions of a mom, but I'll see a lady who would take her child in the car seat and just go drop it off at the baby daddy's house and flee the scene and just leave the child outside. Are those what the mom's supposed to do? No. So, bringing a child into this world is a very big responsibility, and you shouldn't do it if you know for a fact that you cannot step up and be responsible enough to protect your child at all times, because we've seen what's happening in the world right now. There's underage human trafficking going on. People literally walk on the street and pick up kids. Like if a child is wandering in a park by themselves, if you just turn to your left and turn back to your right, that child's gone.
Right.
It's gone. It's gone. So being a mom or being a parent, it's a huge responsibility. And if you're not about that life, please pull out. Pull out.
The mom can pull out.
She can pull out.
She can.
Oh, I wouldn't know. What about you? Any advice for future momsies?
Seeing as I'm not a mother, I don't know if I have an advice for future moms, but I'll just say something about my moms or my mothers and something that I cherish about them. I like that they always have my back, and I hope that any future moms, would always, like Blesso said, always be ready to defend your child. So that's mine.
Right. Good points. And for me, it's the same thing. But I'd love for like moms to understand their children, to be open with their children, and to be patient with them. Because in Africa, some African parents is like, when are you gonna bring to their female, to their daughters, when are you gonna bring a man home, or like when are you gonna get married and stuff like that. But I just wish moms were patient, with their children, and just realize that everybody, things happen for people differently, and it takes longer for others and whatnot. But and in general, just continue to show them love, TLC, tender love and care. So yeah.
Oh, that's what TLC meant.
I didn't know.
I thought it meant tables, ladders, and chairs.
Now you again. Soon you.
Now you know.
Now you know. Let me just leave it at that.
Nah,
I
but
had no idea,
like to add to your point about caring, I saw this this guy posted a picture of this kid that was sitting in an area where they were laying bricks. You know how in Africa we lay bricks for them to dry, right?
Mm-hmm.
This kid was sitting there after school sleeping, and the kid had a big tray of bananas next to him. And the guy, you saw that picture, right? And the guy said, "Come and sleep inside." I asked the kid what was going on. He said that he just came back from school, and the parents sent him to go sell the bananas. So the question is, all day long, what were the parents doing at home?
Right.
So stuff like that is just, when I see things like that, it just annoys me, because it's like and the thing is, it's not a child who is like, the child is probably like maybe 6, 7 years old, and you're putting all this responsibility on the child. Like, you go to school, come back from school, and then you're going to sell on the market. What if that child goes to the market and boom, abduction, child's gone?
Or faints because they're tired.
Exactly. So it's just a lot, man. It's just a lot. So everybody that has their mom in their lives, we just have to cherish them and be grateful, because not everybody have it like that.
Right on. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of Now You Know podcast, powered by Stock in the Middle. And as you know, you can always follow us on Twitter at Now You Know One, and on Instagram at NYK Podcast. This has been Blessing, Belna, and Aristide. Until next time.
Until next time, man, go bye, guys. You know, for long.